everybody. I've come out to one of Denver's mountain parks. The city of Denver has a whole bunch of these little parks out here. And this one doesn't really have a name, but on some maps you can see it as the Birch Hill tract. Denver has a lot of these little parks, the most famous one being Red Rocks Park that most people have heard of. This particular park, where I parked at the trailhead, there is only one car there and that belongs to me. So I expect to have this park pretty much to myself, even though it's the day after the 4th of July, being the 5th of July today. There are about a dozen geocaches in this park. There's a great hiking trail, it goes around a loop, and one of them was hidden by me a few years back. I've already found about half of these caches, but we're going to find the newer ones today. And it should be a nice hike of about 2.5 miles, mostly through the woods, and there's some nice rock formations like the one behind me. And hopefully we'll find all these caches. So welcome to another episode of Caching with CAJrrman. Thanks for joining me today. So let's go see if we can find some caches. My first destination, my first cache, is called Happy Halloween. It's up there somewhere, about 350 feet. When I arrived here, I set my camera down where it is and then proceeded to look around to see if I could find the cache. And I eventually went all the way around this rock and didn't see it, and then came back to the camera and looked to see what it was pointing at. The cache is right up here. Well, I had to climb around the other side to get the cache out. This thing here. And look at this. I found two of them. I wonder which one is the original and which one's the replacement. I'll open them up and see. So this one has old signatures. I see 2012, 2013. I'll sign that one in just a moment. Let's see what's in this guy. This one looks much newer. Most recent signature is just a week or two ago. All the signatures are from this year. I'll sign this one too and put them both back. Well, since both caches are in good shape, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the new one inside the old one, and then I'll put it back where it was. They're both in good shape. It'll give the inside one extra protection. Happy Halloween to you too. The next cache is a little more than 1/10 of a mile from here, and the clue says it's under a rock. That's always a shocking hint, but it's usually helpful. But most caches hidden out in places like this are under a rock. So I'm 100 feet away. I see some rocks. This cache is going to be under one of them. Which rock is it going to be under? Ooh, I think this is the back side of it. There it is. Well, that cache I found about 8 minutes after the previous one. The next cache is just another 0.12 miles away, a little more than 1/10 of a mile. So a lot of times when looking for caches hidden in rock outcroppings, there's a lot of little nooks and crannies, and it depends on finding just the right angle to spot where it's hidden. So I found it. I signed the log. Let's close it back up. We'll put it back. Also found a nice little travel bug in here, which I'm going to take and move along to another interesting place somewhere else down the trail. Let's put this one back. I always jot down the time I find a cache. 12:21 p.m. today. So I'm 3 for 3 on this hike. Looks like I have a choice to make. 3 different directions to go, not counting back where I came. I'm guessing it's not that way. But it could be either one of these 2 trails. GPS is pointing to the left, so that's where I'm going to go. But uh-oh, it splits too. There's quite the maze back here. And this park has no map of it, so you can't find these trails on any map. Fortunately, my GPS just points right where the cache is, 440 feet from here. Right up this hill. Once again, a million places to hide it. Well, maybe not a million, but 100. Geosense. GPS points over here. There's a juniper, but I'm still guessing rocks. This looks suspicious right here. Hey, there it is. The next one, I think, judging by the name, is a bison tube, probably hanging in a tree. It might turn out to be a little harder than some of these others. Sometimes little bison tubes and pine trees are really hard for me to find. So the hint says it's in a juniper tree. Looks like there's 2 right here. I don't see any others, but it's actually pointing over there. But these look like the only junipers. Let's take a peek at this one first. Don't see it there. How about this guy? Hey. The next cache I'm going to look for is just another little bit more than 1/10 of a mile away. It happens to be one I hit a few years back called Trail Mix number 13, Birch Hill Tract. It's a trail mix jar, and it's one of 38 caches in the series. This one was from a few years back, number 13. I'm going to go check on it today. It's always good to do some maintenance on your own caches, so let's see what kind of shape it's in after being up here for a few years. This cache isn't too hard to find. You just have to get up here on top of these rocks. Just hidden in a nice little spot here. Let's see how it looks inside. Well, there's a bunch of stuff in here. Back when I hid this cache, it was common for me to put these frogs in it. There's 2 of them. Some beads and some other things. Looks like the log is in good shape. Hasn't been found all that many times. Well, probably no more than 20 times. First to find was back in 2016. So that's this one. It's in good shape. Put this back in the bag. Unlike the previous cacher didn't seal it, I will. There's a hint on the inside of the lid. Helps to find another cache of mine. this cache is called Deadwood, and here's an old dead tree. It says it's in a hidey hole in this tree, and there's several good hidey holes and there's no cache. But then I started thinking, what if it fell out of the hidey hole? I spotted it over here on the ground. So just when I thought I was going to have a DNF, I made the find after all. Well, I put it back where I'm sure it was intended to be. So it's all good for the next finder, who will probably have an easier time than I did looking for a cache in its proper hiding place. So this wraps up another hike in this nice little park here, a couple miles around at most. There I'm leaning against a nice ponderosa pine tree. These are my favorite kinds of cache adventures, going on hikes in the mountains and in the forest. This ponderosa pine tree has a nice fragrance to it. Nearby here are also some spruce trees and a zillion pine needles on the ground here. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Caching with CAJrrman. Please subscribe to my channel. I have lots of nice videos for you to take a look at. Most of them, or a lot of them, are on hikes like this one. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. And I'll see you again somewhere else down the trail in another video, or who knows, maybe in person. Take care, everybody. So long.